think about your kids, though, being able to, for me at least, being able to find that balance of teaching those principles is hard. Because you say, well, listen, I want my kids to be able to have things that I didn't have, right?
Yeah.
I want them to have greater opportunities, and I want them to have the advantages that I didn't have, but yet I want them to learn these principles. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that that saying, this is, hard times create strong men, that leads to
good times,
which leads to softer children, which leads to hard times again, right? And it's just this kind of cycle that where as we become successful, is very purposeful.
Yes.
So one of the things that I'm striving with my kids is to be able to just kind of find ways to keep them grounded.
Yeah.
Because I'm a one percenter, right? And so that means that there are opportunities that we get. Like we're gonna go to Hawaii next week. Why? Just because I saw a good deal, right? So we're gonna go to Hawaii.
Yes.
But yet, I want them to understand how important and how valuable those things are. So in October, we're gonna go to Ghana, and I'm taking my kids with me. I've been on a bunch of medical service missions, and I've always gone just really poor, destitute places. I went to Ghana last year, and we're going to go back to Ghana. And this year I'm taking my kids because I'm like, I want them to understand that we're going to go and work with a bunch of people that live in a third world country, where they really have so very little resources. And we're going to stay at the orphanage where we're going to be serving. They're going to be spending a week with, 50 some odd orphans who live there, plus a bunch of volunteers and stuff. Yeah. But I want my kids to be able to understand that, listen, you're very, very blessed. And that doesn't mean that I don't want you to have those things. I just want you to appreciate those things.
Yeah.
Which, it's like my middle daughter right now. I'm kind of dealing a little bit with her because she'll just send me a text message. Hey, Dad, can you buy this from Amazon? Hey, Dad, can you buy this from Amazon? Hey, Dad, can you buy this from Amazon? Amazon's so easy, right? You say yes. Well, I want her to have those things.
Right.
So there's not anything bad that she's saying, hey, listen, buy me a kilo of cocaine. Dad, what do you think? And instead, it's like, hey, I need a new suitcase. Well, great. That's awesome. Hey, Dad, I need a new tennis bag. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Dad, I need new tennis skirts. Okay, that's awesome. But there comes with that, and it's a hard balance to be able to find.
I bet.
Between saying, listen, I can afford this. I want this for you. And I want you to understand that it's valuable too.
And how do you have them earn it, right? Because right. I know someone, I'm thinking of someone specific where they are very successful entrepreneurs, kind of like the hard times created them into great men. And their kid, they basically want the world for them. And so they tried to start a business for them. They bought all the equipment, over $100,000 of investment into the business. And the kid just has no motivation to run the business that they basically hand them.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very, very tough to balance it. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I'm so eager. I'm so eager to provide my kids with everything. And especially like a business, I could see myself saying, oh, let's get enthusiastic about this business I'm going to start for you. And they don't even want it,
Yeah,
and that's a full grown man. That's not like a teenager. That's like someone in their late 20s anyways. But I see the dilemma there.
Right, you read my mind because that was one thing that came to my mind. And you ended up just answering one of my questions is how do you balance that? Because on one hand, what you went through growing up, financially and with your family. I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth, but it probably is a huge moment of decision, like why you wanted to go into medical school, because you could be very high paying, very lucrative job. But it's like the trials and troubles you went through growing up is what drove you to be who you are and maybe again, you can answer for yourself, but it's like gave you that motivation, that drive, because you like wanted to be top of your class. Like you wanted to literally go and be the best and create this new life. But then you turn around with your kids and you're like, I want to give you everything that I didn't have. But then you're like, what if this hurts them?
Yeah.
because now I'm giving them things that I debate in my mind, you know, because my wife will talk about like, I want to save up for like our children's college. I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I don't want to save up for their college. Like, I want them to figure that out. But I don't know if that's wrong of me to think that way. I'm just
so those are very interesting conversations to be able to have and to be able to thought process of where is that line of helping
right
to hurting. You know, for instance, so I'm divorced. I've been divorced a little over 3 years now. And my ex-wife, she grew up very comfortably, not wealthy, but very comfortable. And her school was all paid for by her dad, and mine was not. You know, like I
Right.
worked during school, and I took out some how in undergrad and paid those off, and I obviously took out loans for medical school. But so we had that conversation a lot. Like, well, where do we? What is the right thing? Do we pay for school for them so that they can focus on school? Do we pay for school and require them to be able to buy their books? Do we help them, buy a duplex to be able to live in it when they go to school so that they can have some, like all those are, and there's no right answer. I think everybody has to be able to figure that out for them and for their own situation, their own scenario. But I think that the mindfulness of it is probably the most important part.